All right, y'all. Welcome back to Dead Spot Podcast. Got a special guest with me, my boy Kahlil. We're going to get into the conference finals. We're going to get into a few other teams that kind of, eliminated and fell off a little bit. But before I get started, I want everybody to like, subscribe on YouTube, like, subscribe on Spotify, and let's get into it, man. So, as one of my only fellow Luka fans, man, how we feeling right now down fucking 0-3?
Man, honestly, bro, it's crazy. I didn't expect us to be down 0-3. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I mean, hey, we're in this situation. Sometimes the shots just don't fall, bro, and I feel like that's been the case. I feel like it hasn't been more of what the Warriors have done; it's more so what the Mavs haven't done. And
Right.
I know we came in a little not expected to be here, that's for sure. Overachieving, some people use. I don't use that word. I feel like you're in the title run the moment you start 0-0, right?
And
But
you picked him to beat the Suns.
facts,
So you
facts.
so you was expecting this.
Yes, I expected us to beat the Suns. Man, going to Game 7, it was crazy. I just felt like even when we were down 2-0 in the beginning, it just didn't feel like they dominated us. I felt like we could still win. We were close. And the famous line from Giannis himself: "A series don't start till you win one on the road."
Right.
So they took care of home court. We took care of home court. We evened it out. And from there, I felt like even the ones we won, they were blowouts. And they blew us out too. So I felt like it was anyone's game. It just was a matter of who was gonna take one on the road or was the Suns gonna take care of business at home.
Yeah.
And we got out of there, man. So but obviously the Suns is not the Warriors. It's a different animal, different beast. I just feel like you can't get yourself in that hole quick when you're playing against the Warriors. You gotta capitalize. You gotta play close to flawless basketball. And Mavs just, man, 0-3.
The thing that really just suck is, bro, like they only have three players that can dribble.
Mm-hmm.
So you only got Brunson, Luka, and then Dinwiddie.
Right.
Everybody else out there is just catch and shoot, playing some defense. So it's like in the third quarter when the Warriors start coming back
Mm-hmm.
and Luka couldn't get it going and Brunson was struggling, like they didn't have nowhere to turn to like just get a bucket. Like and they didn't even they played so well in the first half of game two. Like they didn't even need to play that well
Mm-hmm.
in the second half. They just needed to kind of like stop the momentum, like kind of hit a shot here or there, kind of like how the Heat did in game three against Boston. Like
Yeah.
with Jimmy, they was making runs, 9-0 run. Okay, we coming out and hit a three. Oh, damn, it's slowing down. Or kind of like how they did to us in game two when we was making that run in the third quarter and then Marcus Smart hit the jumper or whatever. Like they couldn't get nothing like that going. And it's just tough, bro. Like it's hard watching Luka go out here and I know everybody's so quick to want to jump on Luka, but it's like obviously he's not the most in shit. Like he's kind of chubby, so it's
Mm-hmm.
like he get a little tired when he got to play the whole game and be the whole offense. And it's like I feel like he get a lot of slack because they won 2 games when he was hurt. It's like bro, they was playing the Utah Jazz, who was already like falling apart. Like it was clear Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell were on the same page. Like not saying that wasn't impressive that they got them wins, but I don't think that that's enough to be like when it's Luka fault they losing, or it's like Luka he too ball dominant. Well, what is he supposed to do? Like his second best player is 5'10". You know what I'm saying? And the rest of them just shoot the ball. So it's like if they not hitting, like bro, for Reggie Bullock, and he went to North Carolina. I hate this for him, but you gotta fucking go. And you just went, you played 40 minutes and went 0 for 10.
0 for 10, bro. 0 for 7 from the three.
Come on now.
They gotta step up, and I get it. Luka's gonna be tired, man. He can't sit out there and just dominate. He dominates the ball, and that's cool because it's effective. Like the way the roster is set up is to complement him. But
Right.
when he's not there, when he's not involved, when he's not hot, what's the alternative plan? There's no alternative plan, and I feel like Dinwiddie has proven that he can score. Now, okay, I get it. He's coming off an ACL injury. It's
Right.
been probably about a little bit over a year now. And he hasn't had a full season under his belt with this Mavs team, right? He's trying to, let me be aggressive, but let me fall back so Brunson can do his thing. Let me let Luka do his thing. But he needs to step up and be like, hey, look, I've hooped. You know what I'm saying? Like that Nets team was raw with him and D'Lo. They proved a lot of people wrong. And I feel like this guy have a similar identity with a higher star in Luka than what D'Lo and them were. then we got to just be like, hey, look, okay, Luka, I get it, you're the man, but let me get in my rhythm because Luka's gonna get his regardless, you
Right.
know. And if he's aggressive and assertive, if you noticed in the last game, um, game three, he attacked every matchup. As soon as the ball went in, if they scored, if the Warriors scored or
Right.
missed, he ran the court and attacked. And that's what we have to do. We have to push them in transition. And he's the only person that can score and transition at that speed. You know, Brunson likes to set up half court, get a mismatch, then go to the mid range and then do his little post moves.
Right.
But
Right.
that's not going to work all the time.
He's
So
5'10". Fuck.
yeah, bro, and that's the thing. He can muscle small guards, you
Right.
know, but you can't. You got Draymond. They put Draymond on him.
Yeah. That
That's
makes it tough.
tough.
And would also make Brunson being on the team tougher because really we was both looking at it like you could kind of hide Luka on Draymond.
Yeah,
But now you can't do like he can't guard Draymond because you don't want Brunson on Wiggins, which would be even a bigger matchup. I mean, mismatch than Luka because he's so little. So it's like now Luka is actually having to guard an offensive threat. And Wiggins before the series had already been kind of starting to get in his rhythm and kind of been doing this thing. Some Warrior fans say he was their best player in the last series. So
yeah,
he coming in riding a little bit of a high. Now Luka having to guard him and they giving him the ball. If they not, the pick and roll is with Wiggins and Curry. So it's like either you playing fucking Wiggins and he getting buckets, or now you fucking guard Steph Curry on a switch.
yeah,
So this is they making him work hard, and it's not too much J Kid can do because he's been hiding him in different series, but you
yeah,
can't hide him in this series because you got Brunson out there and they got three guards that can score.
yeah, 100%.
So it's like this is where it's like it's clear that okay, if they're gonna take the next step, either Brunson need to come back to the bench role. I never know he gonna get paid this summer,
Mm-hmm.
but at his height, can he be your second guard? You know what I'm saying? Like, can he really, especially when Luka can't play defense?
Facts.
So like
Facts.
if Luka was a defensive minded guard, then it wouldn't mind. But you can't have two.
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
that's
It makes a liability.
yeah. So it's like, and obviously you can't get rid of Luka. We're not doing nothing with Luka, man.
Yeah,
Fuck that. So everybody else can go. You know what I mean? So Brunson, bro, going down there with baby Luka in Detroit, Cade and them, y'all go have fun. But
but
because it's frustrating to watch, bro.
no, I hear you, and it makes it worse when you go down to the like if you want to do like a death lineup situation,
Yeah.
that would include Dinwiddie out there, another person who's not a defender, you know. So and you can't play at this in the Western Conference Finals. This ain't gonna work out. That whole trying to outscore the next team. Like obviously, whoever has the highest score at the end of the game wins, but you can't do that. Defense is what wins championships, and if you got three guys that don't play defense and only can score, eventually you don't score. That's what happened. I don't feel like the Warriors have done anything besides game one. I'll give them game one where it was a complete dominance. I felt like we felt the pressure. They just straight beat us, no matter what the score was, whether they beat us by one or they beat us by 20 or 30, whatever. They dominate that game from start to end.
Mm-hmm.
Game two, we came out strong and we was up 19 points going into the halftime. And I felt like we let off. And as well as us letting off, they put that pressure on us. They really pressed the Mavs. And the Mavs, you know, you're in a away arena, you know, it's a Chase Center, loyal fans, you know, they know their team's on the run for a championship. They're not gonna let up. And as soon as Curry hits a three, you know, 2 3, this is game changing right there with him. Someone that can do it at like that. And then you got Poole, who's proven this year he's a bucket. Clay, a proven scorer. Wiggins, confidence is out of this world right now.
Yeah.
And they're playing a great defense, which by ironically, they're running a zone, a box one. And we know where they got that idea from, bro. Kawhi Leonard, Raptors, when
Yeah.
they did it to Stephen Curry and them,
Right.
and ultimately won a championship. And obviously, there's other factors in that, right?
Yeah.
But that box one is crucial.
Yeah.
Teams don't run zones in the NBA that often, you know, but that shows how dedicated they are to wanting to win a championship. They're not trying to sit here and watch Luka go one-on-one with Curry or Poole, because that's what I thought. I thought the Mavs were gonna say, I was like, look, let them put Poole out here. Let's make him unplayable by attacking him.
Yeah.
Because he can't play defense.
Right.
Curry obviously has stepped up his defense, but when you got Luka out there, who really is going to be able to lock that up?
Nobody.
Exactly. So Hey, shout out to them though. That's big on Kerr. I feel like too. Like obviously, we're gonna give our credit to the Warriors and their experience, but shout out to Kerr because they boxed one us like 3 minutes into game one, and I just feel like that was a momentum changer, and I feel like the Mavs haven't found the adjustment for that.
And the thing about a boxing one is like that should make you work. Like if you a player like Luka who used to just getting the ball, coming up top, and just getting into your moves and going to the hole or step back or creating. Now you in a boxing one, so like every time you pass the ball, it's hell trying to get the ball back and you working like it's super smart strategy, especially when you got somebody as athletic as Wiggins is. I feel like because Wiggins that kind of had a few rough years, people forget that he's a super freak athlete. Like him being in that position to guard him is like that's perfect for him.
Right.
It was like for them to tap into that, I feel like that was big. I will give them credit though. They got championship DNA. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they know what they need to do to stay in the game long enough for them to get rolling. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you have players that step up. Like game one, was that game? Oh, no. Game two, Curry and Clay. No. That was game one. Curry and Clay was both struggling.
Mm-hmm.
But Looney was hooping, Wiggins was hooping, and they
Mm-hmm.
were able to keep. Draymond had a couple of buckets. Like where the fuck Draymond hadn't scored 10 points in hella long, probably. You know what I'm saying? He come out and gave it just enough for us. Like okay, now Curry hit a couple threes coming out of half. Okay, now Clay getting a few like because he started getting some layups and start getting going. So it's like they know how to like just keep chucking away, keep till it happen. When you got a
Right.
team with the Mavs, and it's like, and J Kidd have been doing a great job. Like he didn't get enough credit, but he still is a young coach. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's certain things that he's still learning about like how to, you feel me,
Yeah.
calm everything down and kind of stay on track. So it's like I feel like when you look at it, man, like obviously they're a little bit more talented and they just understand the moment a lot better. You know what I'm saying? Like 19 points for the Mavs was like we won the game.
Yeah.
And the Warriors was like, okay, the game just getting started. Like, so it's two totally different mindsets. And that's what I think was a key for them too against Memphis. It's
Mm-hmm.
like they know you got Curry. Even though Clay, I've been on Clay ass, I still think he should have come off the bench for Jordan Poole. I'm standing on that. But you got Clay, Draymond, even though Iggy ain't playing him as like a kind of player coach right now, they all been there. They have the experience. They know how to keep their young guy.
Right.
Luka them don't. This is his first time even winning the playoff series this year. So like,
Yep.
he can't really give his young guys like, come on, bro. We go like this is first time like because he said to the game, I'm only 23. I'm still learning. A lot
Yeah.
of people tried to use that against him, but to me,
Mm-hmm.
it's true. He is 23. It is his first time. Like that's no excuse because we both picked him to win this series. So I'm not making it. But imagine him at 27 going through the same experience. It'd be a lot different because he'll have hopefully a lot of years of experience doing it.
Yeah.
But the Warriors, like it's scary. Like you said, you can't make too many mistakes. You
Mm-hmm.
start turning the ball over. They're going to start hitting threes. Like that's just what they do. Draymond setting up the offense, and I told my friends that I felt like Draymond wouldn't be as big of a player on other teams
Mm-hmm.
because this offense just fits what he do so well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and he took it kind of like an insult. I wasn't really saying like in a bad way. It was just like that this like they done figured out the perfect way to maximize Clay, Curry, and Draymond Green's potential. Like
Right.
I don't even know if Clay would be this good for another team where Draymond and them was not there. Like it's all obviously Curry would.
Yeah.
But
100%.
it's like it's just kudos to like the whole system they run. It's
Mhm.
cool to players like Looney, like he been fucking hooping, man.
Man, he's definitely been a key factor. Him and Wiggins, I honestly feel in this series, they're the biggest key to them having this 3-0 lead on us. It's because of Looney and Wiggins. And that's not a knock against Curry. You know, Curry getting hurt, he got 30 and all that. You know, Clay hit timely buckets, especially last night. He started off real bad in the first half. Second half, he started knocking down threes. We knew it was a matter of time. He was chucking them. He went 1 for 8, but his confidence never changed. And that's why I was watching him with my mom, and I told her, I was like, she's like, why he keep shooting? I was like, no, he's shooting because he's confident. That's the problem. For me as a Mavs fan, it's the problem because he's shooting and eventually it's gonna go in.
Right,
And
right.
they're open looks or they're looks he normally makes at least, you know. And but I feel like Wiggins, it like man, his defense has been spectacular. Um, Obviously, it doesn't show sometimes when you look at Luka having 40 and all that and shooting 50%, 45%. But if you watch the game, the length of it, you'll see he's disrupting passes. He's making Luka not tack the rim. Maybe Luka,
Bad turnovers.
exactly, a lot of turnovers, forced passes, longer shot clocks before he has to get a shot off or a pass. And that pays off, you know. And then you got Looney, he's killing the boards. Game, what was it? Game two, he had 21 points. That was his first time scoring that high. That was a career high for him.
Yeah,
There's no way he scores that much points.
yeah,
Now, obviously, I give them their credit as an individual, but I also give them credit as the system they're playing in. Because if you don't have a Curry, a Clay, a Draymond, a Poole, you don't know if Looney gets 21. He probably doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe it looks different than how it was in this time, you know? And with Wiggins, he had 27 last night, I think it was. And everyone was writing off Wiggins when he was on Minnesota. They all was talking bad about him. But the thing is, it's because he was a number one pick. He
Mhm.
had all this expectations. But sometimes you're not meant to be the star, the superstar, the number one guy. And that's what it was in Minnesota. It was him, Cat. At one point, there was someone else there too with them. Not D'Lo. D'Lo didn't play with him, did he? Nah, he didn't play with them. But over there, they had young dudes that it just didn't fit. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't. They struggled with who was number one. And like you said with Luka, like they didn't have leadership on that team over there. They didn't have experience. They didn't have older guys that are vets that can say, "Hey, let me show you how to win. Show you how to do this and that." Right? And Wiggins gets brought over here, basically thrown away in a sense. Like
Yeah,
Minnesota really didn't want him. He comes here and he learns a system that is letting him excel in it. You know what I'm saying? He's thriving in this role because he has Curry to learn from. He has Clay, he has Kerr, he has Iggy, he has Draymond. And now he's not the person that everyone's watching. You
yeah,
know, scouting report says stop Curry from shooting threes, stop Clay from catching pull ups. Don't let Draymond get disruptive on the defensive end, and definitely don't let him go over there and run the offense because he can get all the shooters open.
mhm,
Poole this year he started coming up, so obviously we're watching him now more than ever. But baby Curry, they're saying, you know, he got the slashing, the shooting, maybe a shot selection sometimes off, but he's confident enough to take those shots. And then you go to Wiggins, you know,
right.
and it's like if you have your two best defenders guarding one and two, who's guarding Wiggins? You know, you kind of want Wiggins to be the guy that's going to beat you if he can beat you.
Mhm.
And now his confidence is showing, and he's proving he can beat you. You know, so I think this is a great fit for him.
And then also too, it's just like with Minnesota, like there's no culture there. Like you know what I'm saying? So there's no sense of belonging. Like even when Jimmy came in and was trying to like, hey man, this is how we need to play, this is what we need to do. Like that
Mm-hmm.
shit didn't really hit because it's like, well, Jimmy, you ain't won nothing. It's like we ain't won nothing as a franchise. So it's like, what type of culture are we really playing for? What is this really all of? You go to the Warriors, it's like, man, we got 5 NBA Finals appearances. Man, we got 3 rings. We got 2-time MVP. He a Defensive Player of the Year. He one of the 3 best shooters of all time. They just named Kerr a top 15 coach all time.
Mm-hmm.
Like we one of the highest grossing organizations in the whole league. It's just
Mm-hmm.
a different level. Like
Yeah, facts.
it's like when you come here, it's like okay, they're about winning. This is about championship. This is about a whole different. So it's like you willing to buy in because there's more to it.
Yeah.
Minnesota, you buying into knowing you finna win 32 games at the most,
Mm-hmm.
25 games. So it's like credit to him for wanting to buy in, but it's like I said, I just keep saying credit to their organization for the culture they built because everybody that go there thrives. Everybody that go there either like you don't hear people leave the Warriors and be like, oh, I hate the Warriors or this and that the organization was fake or you know what I'm saying? Even like KD, like even though that didn't end the best way, like he
Yeah.
really had too much negative to say about their organization as a whole. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like that's damn the Warriors, man, they finna really go to the finals. If they gonna sweep my boy, bro, like that's all I want to know.
Look, as a Mavs fan, I'm gonna sit here and tell you, I'm gonna tell you the Mavs fan and basketball fan. Mavs fan to me, it's not over till it's over. You know, that's the Mavs side of me, right? That's the Mavs side of me, the biased side, right? It's not over till it's over. Mavs in 7, whatever. NBA side of me, I still don't think the Mavs are going to get swept. Now, the only reason I think they're not, now it's 50-50, obviously, right? Because starts off 0-0, all that. But no, it's really 50-50 because last night the Mavs got beat at home. We all saw the Wiggins poster on Luka. I'm so sick of seeing it. But we all saw that. We all saw the trash talking. We seen the gloating between the Warriors, when they were in our home. That's
Mhm.
disrespectful, right? Now to them it's not, but it's disrespectful as the Mavs on the receiving end of that. You
Mhm.
let them come into our home, no matter how I don't care how good they are. They came in there and it felt like it was easy for them.
Right.
So no matter if Luka dropped 40 or Brunson did good, Dinwiddie did good, I know Reggie Bullock's not going to sleep good knowing he just went 0 for 10.
Oh my
The
God.
game before that he had 21 though. And I'll get it. I'm not giving him no excuses. You gotta show up. You're a
Yeah.
professional. You've played in playoff games before. Maybe not this high, not this important, but you're a professional. You've hit timely shots. You know it's at stake, right? Now, obviously, he got his social justice award. Which shout out to him for that because that's
Right.
amazing.
Oh,
Everything that he's been through in his life,
for
and
sure.
they talked about it before the game. I know the emotions are probably there, and as a human, you can't help but feel certain things. Like I said, it's not an excuse. I'm just saying he missed. He's gonna hold that to himself. I promise you, he comes out next game, he does good. And at the same time, the Mavs have to want it for pride. Luka elimination games. Hey, he
Going
lost two,
crazy.
he won one, but he's averaging like 40
Yeah.
in elimination games.
Mhm.
He's gonna do his thing. Now, I think the Mavs as a whole are going to band together. We saw what they did against the Suns. So like we said, this is not the Suns, this is the Golden State Warriors, but it's the same severity. The Mavs always preach to themselves that the accountability, staying together, sticking together. Now it's time to put that all together and get one. That's all you got to do is worry about one.
Yeah.
I think they don't get swept. I think they lose in five though.
I could deal with that a little bit more, man, because now I'm already seeing nasty shit on there, like, oh, Trey Young didn't get swept when he got to the conference finals, and like, bro, I just want to say on here, we got to stop the Trey Young Luka shit.
Yeah.
That is not real, bro. That is a fake narrative, bro. Luka is way better than Trey. I
Mhm.
don't care how this series ends. We not finna.
Yeah.
Oh well, because you got swept and oh you lost in five. Oh, like we're
Mhm.
not finna do it, bro. We're not finna do it. This team, Luka got obviously they got a lot of work to do in the summer. I
Mhm.
mean, they got here. This is the first step. Hopefully, he get a taste of it and he hungry for more.
Mhm.
But we not. I just want to put that to bed. We're not doing the trade Lucas shit no more.
100%.
And also, Warrior fans, yo, you talking all that shit. Yo, it was all in my messages and my DMs on FaceTime. But can I get my credit though? I'm the one told y'all don't trade for Rudy Gobert. Let Looney do his shit. I'm the one said don't bench Wiggins. Y'all was all saying bench Wiggins. I got receipts of everybody on Twitter saying, "Oh, Wiggins ain't doing it. That All Star shit was fake." Now y'all all loving him now that he dunking on Luka and doing. But I just want to know, can I get my credit? But we can move on. We can move on. Mavs at five, you said, right?
Yeah.
All right, just as long as they don't get swept, but that's a nasty narrative for them. That's that.
Man, I hear you.
What you think about the Heat and the Celtics?
Man, I when I first seen it before the games even started, I was kind of like, I personally, I'll be honest, I wanted the Bucks to win. I wanted the Bucks to make it out. I felt like it was unfortunate that Middleton got injured,
Right.
and I mean that's the game. We know how it goes. People get injured, but I just felt like Tatum earned his way. They swept the Nets. They made it this far out. I think if Middleton was there, they don't go to seven, and I don't think that we'd be having this situation right now. But since they are here,
Yeah.
shout out to them and going against the Miami Heat, which I feel like Miami Heat, they earned it by going to first off number one in the East. So they got the home court. And I feel like the matchup is real even. Like I didn't see it that even before. I thought personally, I don't watch the Heat too much, but I know Jimmy Butler, his resume speaks for itself, man. He shows up in playoffs. I don't care about the regular season. He shows up in playoffs. He's a leader. They got Kyle Lowry, they got Bam. I feel like Bam has yet to come out in this series and really leave his mark. Last game he left his mark. Actually, he showed up last game with no Jimmy.
Right.
I want to see him continue to do that. I get Al Horford's a great defender you know, and he's a little older. I want to see Bam really put him to work though. Like I don't care. I think Bam has potential to be one of the best centers in this league. If he's not already a top 5 center in this league
Right.
off the top without thinking about it fully. I think this series is going to 7.
Okay.
I think it's going to 7. Every game, you can't sit there and home court don't matter. Home court don't matter in this series. They can win on either side. If Tatum and Brown get hot, you know what I'm saying? That's there. You got Jimmy. For me, with Jimmy and them, it's more so their defense is keeping them in it, but
Yeah.
I need more on the offensive end. It can't be Jimmy dropping 45.
Right. Right.
Not every game. Like he can probably do it because I feel like I said, playoffs is different for him. But I need to figure out who's that number 2 on a night in, night out basis, you know? But I think it's going to 7.
Who you got though?
I'm gonna go if it goes to 7. If it goes to 7, I got the Heat.
There we go.
Goes to 6, I'd go Celtics personally. But I think 7 is Heat. And my only reason for that is I think the Heat are way more experienced. I think even though it doesn't look like it when you go down the roster, with Jimmy and Lowry, that's more than enough. If I go to the Celtics, you got Al Horford as the guy. I like their coach too. You know, he's a new first time coach. Shout out to him. I don't think the Celtics have enough experience to pull through this one. That's how I see it.
And see, I mean, the thing is, some of they play like Tatum and them been what? This is his, I think, third Eastern Conference Finals, and then Jaylen Brown's fourth or whatever. But I
Yeah.
mean, for me though, like, cause the Heat is so that's my team. Like on my sports wall right here, I got 2 D Wade frame jerseys, and
Okay.
so it's like I love the Heat ever since D Wade was in the league.
Mhm.
Like Luka is just my guy. I just really love the way he played basketball. But the Heat, I just feel like we've been getting disrespected all year based off the simple fact, like you said. I'm glad you said that. You don't really watch a lot of Heat games. We don't get a lot of national TV games. Like we don't have a lot of like Jimmy Butler is our best player, and he's probably one of the least exciting number 1 options out there. Like as far as just watching the game, like I love the way he played, but I mean I'm a Heat fan, so it's like the grittiness of it, like that's kind of our style. Is like gritty, getting to the free throw line, getting on the floor, getting offensive rebounds for putbacks. But that's not fun for a fan. That's not a like
Yeah.
that's not their team. I get it though. So it's like they don't put us on TV. So I think people, and it's like you look at our scouting report, it's like, oh, he was undrafted. He was undrafted. This guy went second round. This guy like, so it's like it don't look like as much.
Yeah.
But when you look at Lowry, what he brings as far as leadership, as far as defense, as far as shot making, shot creation, like Lowry was the key reason why Bam got going last game, due to the simple fact, as a true point guard, he heard all the noise, he heard all of the negativity, and said, "Okay, I'm coming out and getting my big man the ball early." He forced him the ball. Like the first 4 out of the first 6 possessions, he made sure. And one of the throws, it got stolen, but he was just letting him know, like, I'm coming to you early. We sticking with you, like we believe in you. And he turned around and gave us 31 points in response to that. That's a true PG. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy Butler is like, I don't think he's a better, like, and we was having this discussion. Like, if Tatum probably is a little bit just more, a little bit better, but like I was telling my boy Reese, who's a Celtics fan, it's still so close where Jimmy can outplay him in a series. That's why I wanted them more than I wanted Giannis in them, because there's literally nothing too much Jimmy could do to have a better series than Giannis. Like, not saying we couldn't have beat them, but on a one-on-one matchup, Giannis is going to be the best player in any series he's in right now.
Facts.
But with Jimmy and Tatum, oh yeah, we could look him in the eye and say, I'm better than you tonight, and go get his ass. Like, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
So that part of it, like the whole Jaylen Brown, I feel like it's still tough for Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum to go off consistently together.
Yeah.
It's like Tatum have a big game, all right, Jaylen Brown taking the back seat. And then vice versa. Like Jaylen Brown had 40 last game, Tatum had 10.
Yeah.
So Tatum, him being the number 1 option, and he is the number 1 option, but some nights Jaylen Brown is so talented, he's gonna get the buckets. Tatum still ain't found out like how to still fit into the offense when it's Jaylen Brown night fully. So like, I think that's something like with experience of Spo and all that. It's like, let JB get going early. If that's gonna mess up what Tatum got going and gonna get him out, because Tatum, the thing about him, he's super good.
Yeah.
He's one of them players that when he looks bad, oh my God, it goes bad, man. Like some Chris Paul type shit, like how he like certain players just look like they shouldn't even be considered a star when they're doing bad.
Many bad facts.
So like that's something that we need to work on. Obviously, Marcus Smart, like you said, Al Horford, he did a great job defending, but Bam can expose him, man. Like Bam could get
Yeah.
buckets on him as long as he take his time and get to his spots. He too strong for Al Horford to just be pushing around. He could get to it's just if you're gonna make him or not.
Yeah, 100%.
And then we got our shooters like Spruce, um, bro.
Hey,
Spruce,
bucket.
he's a bucket and he's an underrated defender.
Yeah,
Like that's why people like why Duncan Robinson not playing because Duncan Robinson is a cone on defense and this dude can actually slide his feet and he a good rebounder.
facts.
So it's like, and you look at Vic. Oh my God. Jaylen Brown, bro, I know you had 40, but you was getting your ass clamped up. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I watched the game with my own 2 eyes.
Yeah.
Vic in your ass. That boy was turning him, he stripped him 4 times in like 5-6 possessions. It was getting ugly for him, man.
Man, I feel like Jaylen Brown, he tries to do too much with his handles, like, and I don't feel like his handle meets what he's trying to do.
Right.
Like that's the biggest thing with him. Like Jaylen Brown is a bucket. I feel like if you want to get the most, like to maximize their efforts, I think it would be getting Tatum going first and letting Brown do more. He does more like slashing and dirty work and defense. Now obviously Tatum is a good defender. I actually watched him this season a few games or so, especially more so in the playoffs, and I was like, okay, he actually could play defense. Like
I had to pick the team on defense. I thought he
yeah.
should have been.
You all for real? See, I didn't know that though. See, I always had the narrative in my head that he's a great offensive player because that's all everyone talks about. Same thing like you said about the media.
Yeah.
They don't show enough games of the Heat because of all the grit and grind. But see, that's the shit that wins you games when you come to playoffs. That's the stuff that matters. You know what I'm saying? And you answered my question too because I was gonna ask you why was Duncan Robinson not getting any minutes? That's strange because one game he had 27, the next minute he not playing.
Right.
DMP. The next minute, 5 minutes. Next minute, 28 minutes. I'm like, it's all over the place. I also feel like for the Heat, Tyler Hero needs to get going. He has to get going, man. You won 6 man of the year, but that can't be your limit. That can't be it, And I feel like the Heat rely on him to come off the bench and provide that spark. Every time I look at the box score in regular season, at least when I was watching, Tyler Hero, 30, 20, 25, 22, 20, 21.
Yeah.
I need that Tyler Hero here.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
No, because that's going to be the X factor to put the Celtics away and forget the Celtics to put the Warriors away.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to need all hands on deck.
Right.
Defense is going to definitely put you and keep you in the game.
But we got
offense is going to win you the game.
Yeah.
And Hero needs to show up and do that. Now, I never knew about the what's his name again? You said the guy that took Duncan Robinson's spots. Wasn't it? Oh, Max. Yes. So I saw him hitting threes. I watched the last game. He has a nice range. He definitely was picking up on defense. So I can understand why Duncan Robinson is not out there. We know he's not a defender. That's just the honesty of it. Yeah. But the good thing is you have him as an option. That's how deep the Miami Heat are, though. You can use him. If offense is what you're struggling with, you could put him in, and you still got defenders and Bam, PJ Tucker, Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry, and you can complement him by putting Duncan Robinson in there, and then it can work out. Right. So I feel like that's the biggest thing for the Miami Heat. I definitely could see them winning the series though for sure. Like if I had to pick and put my money on the line, I'd go with the Miami Heat. I think Celtics just look better as far as like the flashiness and the exposure, the hype, the big name. Like you said, Jimmy Butler probably the most underrated number one option that's out there. Yeah. And he's proven he's hit game winners. He's played the defense. He's had the stops. He's gone against LeBron. All these different things. I just feel like his name is like, I'm not gonna say slandered. I just feel like it's slept on in a sense in the league because, like you said, the flashiness isn't there or whatever. But that's he's the ultimate winner in a sense, as a guy that you need on the court if you want to win.
And so I was talking to a guy on Twitter that I be talking to all the time about sports and stuff. And he literally outright told me, he was like, man, I'm literally rooting against y'all because I think it would be boring as hell to watch y'all in the finals. Mm-hmm. And I think it'd be better to watch Tatum and Brown because of their one-on-one ability. Like it'd just be like he a Warriors fan, so he feel like the Warriors is beating Heat or the Celtics. But he just feel like it'd be funner to watch them beat the Celtics than it. And I'm like, I can't hate. It's kind of like how the Spurs was. Not saying we the
Yeah,
Spurs, or not saying Jimmy is Tim Duncan, nowhere close, but
yeah,
they were good for 20 years almost. But
yeah,
did you really want to watch them play? Like I didn't really start respecting Tim Duncan game until I got older and started really understanding hoop on the deeper level. Because when I was younger, it's like I'm not watching no Spurs game. Like what the fuck? Like
yeah.
Tony Parker ain't doing no crossovers. He just getting to his spots. Tim
Fact.
Duncan making shots and spinning
Mhm.
on people. Like that shit was weak. Like all
Yeah.
the fun they had was Ginobili coming in doing quirky shit. Like
Yep.
but as you get older, you really understand like what it take to actually really win and what's sustainable. Like that's sustainable. You know what I'm saying? So like that's why I feel like Jimmy is one of the better players in the league.
Mhm.
I hope we get this series, man. Like Tyler Hero not playing today.
Yeah. I
Wait,
saw that.
they just came with our starting lineup. Okay, Lowry. All right, Jimmy Butler will be playing today.
Okay.
Struce playing. Tucker out there too. I knew for sure Tucker wasn't playing, but he playing,
Okay.
and we got banned, but no Hero.
Okay.
So this is not as big of a deal because me personally on my last pod I predicted we would lose game 4
Mhm.
and then win game 5 and 6.
Okay.
So I'm not really worried. If we could still get, I would love for him to win after Luka got dunked on last night, but it would really do something good for my
Yeah.
spirit.
Fact. I hear you on that.
I just need a little bit of positivity because
Oh.
bro, I was at David Buster's last night with 1,000
Oh my God.
Filipino and Asian Warrior fan.
Yeah.
Everybody had their curries on. Everybody, and my fiance is a huge Warrior fan. So
Okay.
everybody else walking by, oh, he going for Luka. He going for Luka. So they was talking
Oh.
shit. It wasn't fun. Like it wasn't fun at all. Like I was just trying to enjoy my little drink. I had my margaritas going. She wasn't. It was.
Crazy.
It wasn't what was supposed to be going on at all. Like I
Man,
don't.
the hardest thing about going like living in the city and you don't go for the team that like I got love for the city. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
I got love for my city. You know, shout out to the success and everything they built. To be completely honest, I used to be a Warriors fan back when it was Monte, but when I was younger, I didn't understand basketball to the level where I understand it now. And I
Mhm.
felt back then when they traded Monte to the Bucks,
Yeah.
I was broken. And they
Yeah.
chose Curry, and I was like,
Fuck
who
Curry.
is this dude? Like, what the fuck? I
Yeah.
was pissed. And so I didn't understand the business of basketball. You know, I just understood that he already got snubbed by not being an all-star when he had games where he was dropping 40s. And I felt like he was an all-star level player and they got rid of him. And I didn't understand like I said, the business side of it, the trading, all that stuff. But for me, I've always been a diehard Carmelo Anthony fan. That's my guy. That's what got me into basketball.
Right.
I'll go to war with him no matter what,
Right.
forever. So it was Melo, and I had Monte that I liked, you know what I'm saying, for being in the Bay Area. When they
Yeah.
got rid of Monte, that kind of took me out of the picture of the Warriors and just staying strictly to Melo, everything Melo, nothing but Melo. And then Luka came in, and that's my guy is Luka and Melo. That's it, you know. But I was a Warriors fan then, and I felt like for me, it just was like we were losing. I didn't care if we lost though, you know, like I was there with Monte, Darrell Roy. We had all these different people. Like it was cool. It was a fun time. And then they got rid of him. And then I see all these bandwagoners hop on the moment they won though.
Yeah.
Not when they were going against the Clippers and they lost that one series or losing to the
Right.
Spurs. No, the people weren't hopping on the bandwagon there. People hopped on when they won that first championship.
True.
And that's when I was kind of like, all right, either they're bandwagoners or they're just maybe they were silent. I mean, maybe they were just silent fans and didn't want to talk about it. But me, win or lose, my team could be down 20. I'm still gonna have the same energy, like I'm representing my team regardless, win or lose, because that's how you're supposed to be. That's how I feel like you
Mhm.
should be at least.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I know how it is, man. I've been in a lot of different public spaces where my Mavs jersey, I've been to so many Warriors games against uh so for instance, when Melo's on the Knicks, I went to Knicks games.
Yeah.
Denver, I was at Denver games all out in Oakland at the time, actually. And everyone looking at me, and for the first time this year, I actually went to the Dallas Mavericks game
I
for
seen
game
that for the playoffs.
playoffs. I didn't get to see Luka, but I saw Jalen Brunson drop 41 points.
Okay.
It was crazy, man. First time being in an arena where I've actually had everyone on the same page.
Yeah.
So Definitely, man. You gotta go to Miami, man.
Got to. I only playoff game I went to the We Believe year when they beat Dallas game 3. And
Hmm.
then I went a couple years ago when Luka played the Clippers the second time.
Okay. Uh,
Man, we went in LA though.
yeah, that would have been crazy.
Man, I'm watching the game and that's where it's like I had already liked Luka, but when
Yeah.
we left that game, I called my boy Kel and said, "Hey, listen, bro, this white boy right here is something different."
Oh God.
He was cooking it, and we was like in the 10th row or so like, and we were sitting behind, so I was sitting there by the Clippers bench.
Yeah.
I'm watching Ty Lue say, "Kawhi, pick him up. PG, pick him up," and they looking like, "I'm not picking that motherfucker up. You pick him up." Like, did nobody want him? I think he had
Man.
like 40, either like 41 or like 43 that game.
Mm.
But the way he was getting it, it was like, PG, you take a bucket. Kawhi, you take Morris. You want some of this?
Right.
Reggie, you won't like. I just hadn't seen too many guys operate like that at that young of a level.
Facts.
Like that shit to me was just like, oh, he could be the best player in the league one day. Like seeing it up close and watching, because Kawhi to me the best perimeter defender when fully healthy.
Yeah.
PG, he up there with Kawhi and Ben and them. He in that like same situation, like category. And then Marcus Morris ain't just horrible. So
Yeah.
you got 3 good perimeter defenders, and he's literally taking turns cooking their ass. Like
Facts.
he's not looking for the Reggie Jackson mismatch. He won't y'all and y'all can. Like I was like, what the fuck was that? Like that shit was like.
Yeah.
Ever since that, like, because the first year they played the Clippers, I lost a lot of money fucking with Luka, man. This this
Yeah.
the step back that got him like basically famous against the Clippers from that left side, I think I lost like $400 that day. So I wasn't really feeling Luka. I'm like, man, he costing me money and shit. Who the fuck is this
Right.
kid? But
Yeah.
after I went to go see it live, I was hooked, bro. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's not too much like this in the league, bro. Like,
Facts.
but if we had to pick right now, they got the new conference finals award for most valuable player. Who would be your most valuable player for the Western Conference and Eastern Conference finals?
Whew. All right. Well, first off, that award is crazy itself that they've made it. Like they made that award. Like I'm like 50-50 on whether I like it or don't like it idea of it. But as far as like the West so far, if the Warriors make it, well, if the Warriors make it, which is looking likely right now, I honestly is bold, but I'd give it to Wiggins. I think you
Really?
got to give it to Wiggins, man. I mean, you can obviously argue Steph, right? But the reason I'd say Wiggins because offensively, defensively, you got Kerr praising him every game. You know, he really stepped up this series. Obviously, the dunk last night gives you a little bit of extra sparkle to it. But I just feel like he's been the key factor. I don't know if they can be up 3-0 without him out there. I would say you could argue Looney a bit, but he didn't. I mean, he had that game where he had 21. That was
Right.
spectacular for sure. He's definitely haven't hasn't let the Mavs thrive on ISO one-on-ones against him,
Right.
but I don't think his impact has been as much as Wiggins. I would say, and then obviously if they let you give it to a losing person, I give it to Luka. That's hands down it. I think that I mean that's what they let you do with the finals MVP award. So I wouldn't be surprised if Luka could, but not being down 0-3, 0-4. If they get sweep, Luka's definitely not in the picture of it. They lose in 5, Luka's not in the picture of it. I think Luka will have to force it to 6 in order for him to get it, whether they win or lose. But I'd say Wiggins right now is the person for the West. As far as the East, so far, you gotta give it to Jimmy as far as the Heat.
So
The
it's
Heat
nice.
go. You gotta give it to Jimmy, even if he missed last game.
Right.
That's just the person you have to give it to. I don't think no one else played as consistent as he has to over the last games in order to give it to somebody else. Um, and as far as the Celtics go, it's tough. I mean, I'm not. I mean, shit. I mean, you could argue Marcus Smart too. Now, I'm not saying that's my first option, but you could definitely argue it as far as he got hurt, came back. You know, the pride he's played with, the defensive stops. You know, offensive player as well. And I feel like the realistic one though would be Tatum. That has to be the person you probably give it to, even though he had that bad night though. So it's kind of iffy. I mean, there's only been 3 games so far in that
Look,
series.
but you look at it, Tatum, he played bad in game 3, and he also game 1 second half had 2 points and 6 turnovers in the third quarter alone.
Yeah, that's tough. See, that's what I'm saying. I don't feel like there's a distinguished answer on the Celtics.
Yeah, it's kind of
Jalen
tough.
Brown was a no show in like what game 1.
Yeah,
I think I think game 3. This last game was his best game.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So and they lost. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know if I could get if there's someone out there that specifically had their imprint, like if we went a round back, like one more round back to when they were playing the Bucks, someone who really stuck out was Grant Williams. He was
Mhm.
killing 3-point line defense, everything. That was an impact that you can obviously see change that series.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like this one they've done it. I mean, we'd have to see how tonight goes and see how that goes. But I think right now Jimmy Butler is definitely my pick for the Heat. Wiggins for the West. So, what you think? What you got?
It's tough because I do see where you're coming from with the Wiggins, because like obviously like he making the whole game hard for Luka. I mean, Steph is averaging 28.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hard not to give it to Steph too, though, man. Like that's the media will give it to him off that.
I think the media going, because it's like this is the same kind of situation that happened when in 15 when
Mm-hmm.
Iggy got it, even though Curry had averaged about 27, 28, but he was playing good D on LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the numbers wasn't showing that he was playing good D, like the
Mm-hmm.
shooting percentages, the way he was making him turn the ball over. If you actually watch, you seen the impact. So like Wiggins can kind of make that same case Iggy made to steal it from Curry,
Mm-hmm.
and he's doing a better job on offense than Iggy did.
Facts.
Uh,
That's what I'm saying. That imprint offensively was really a game changer. It's not like he's averaging like 10 points
yeah,
or anything like that. He's probably averaging in a higher, 18, 19, maybe almost 20 points a game. So,
I would probably go. Could the first year be co-MVP, bro? Can we do a Wiggins
hey,
Curry? Because like, bro, like you look at Wiggins, it's like, oh, his plus minus, he got the highest plus minus in the series. I think he like plus 61. He got Luka with the lowest plus minus in the whole series. Like
yeah,
his impact is vicious. But I feel like everybody gonna say we hating for not giving it to Curry. And
yeah,
so you know how that shit go. But
facts.
it's like you can't give a take without somebody saying you hating. So it's like, but I gotta go co-MVP then, man. Because
Yeah.
I don't want to disrespect Wiggins' impact,
Hmm.
but I feel like Curry deserves some type of like I don't know
Yeah.
type of recognition.
I hear you on that. Without his, I mean, they're really valuable regardless. Like without Curry, I mean, you can try to substitute those points, but it won't come as efficiently, and they wouldn't be up 3-0. So that's the key thing. Like, and with Wiggins, I mean, a lot of people would probably argue, like, okay, well, if we just take out Wiggins and Otto Porter would have played more minutes, or we still run more zone, or whatever the case is.
Yeah,
But I would agree with co MVP for sure. It's really a coin flip. I mean, I guess we really got to just see the impact on the next game, to
yeah.
be honest, or until they close out the series.
And then as far as the Celtics go, I mean, obviously Jimmy, but as far as the Celtics go, like right now, yeah, I don't think they have a clear MVP. Like I think that because like Marcus Smart, I feel like was MVP of game 2,
Mhm.
and they lost the other 2 games. Like they don't
Yeah,
really have like
that's what I'm saying.
it's kind of tough. So yeah, I would probably like if you had to just pick a person, like probably Marcus Smart right now for me.
Mhm.
But
Okay.
like I don't think that they've had anybody that can really like say like, oh, I've been the best. I've separated myself games 1 through 3. Like so
Yeah, that's what I feel about the Mavs. If it wasn't for Luka being as great as he's been doing, the numbers he put in, I probably wouldn't put him in this. Like, no person down 0-3
yeah.
normally deserves to be in that conversation of MVP of it. You
And I
know,
ain't gonna
so
lie, bro. Luka, I know he had 40 last night, bro, but I didn't see it. I don't know. Like I
yeah,
was watching the game. I know I was drinking a little bit, but I said 40. When the fuck he get to 40? Like I don't know when he. And then it was like he shot almost 50% from the field.
that's what I'm saying.
When did he do that? Like I was like, I did not remember him going that crazy. It's like it was a bad game because like for me, Wiggins is fucking with me
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah.
He's just he making it hard to watch the game. So
Yeah.
like, that's where the impact coming. But I don't know, bro. I don't know where the 40 came from. That was kind of an ugly 40 ball.
He had 20 in the fourth quarter. That's how it got about it.
Because I'm about to say, what the like, what was I? All right, in the fourth.
Yeah.
So he was just going crazy in the fourth.
20 in the fourth quarter. So first three was just the other 20. I mean, it just was a slow start. I feel like that's the thing with him. Like he sometimes he wants to get his teammates involved, which is good. You got to do that. But sometimes it takes away from him shooting. He tries to play hero ball too late.
Mhm.
If that 20 points came in the third quarter, we probably have a better chance of winning that game. And I feel like it's because he stopped searching for his shot.
Right.
Because how do you just get 20 in the fourth quarter? I doubt the Warriors just started letting up,
Yeah.
like unless fatigue or tiredness happened. But I still don't think that's the case. I think you got more aggressive. I need that sooner.
And that's crazy because I tweeted that yesterday, bro. I think that the media kind of got into his head a little bit with, oh, look, because like in the first quarter and like first and second quarter, he passed up on some easy shots. Like it was a couple times where he beat Wiggins and he Euro stepped and didn't even look at the rim and tried to do a behind the back pass or over the head or try to find somebody. It's like, it's good that you try to get your teammates involved, but if you have a look, you're the best. You have to take that look.
Fact.
And that's where I feel like he's talking about where you got to still learn. Like I feel like he's baby Bron, but this is where the next step come in. Bron knows where it's like, okay, getting my teammates involved early, but I still got to get mine if it's like right there in front of me.
Yep.
So it's like Luka's still trying to, because it's like when he gets to trying to get his, that's all he be doing. He might take 4 or 5 shots in a row.
Yeah.
You don't need to do that. But then you also don't need to pass 5 times in a row either.
Like you gotta mix it up. Gotta play the defense with what they're giving you.
Right. And it's like whatever that is, if that is for you to take 3 shots in a row, if they're 3 good looks, that's fine. But if it's like, okay, I got a good look here, and it's like, okay, not a good pass it. Oh, this is a decent look, but that's a great look. Like you have to be able to decipher that. So it's like that's the next step in his development. He only 23. It's the sky's the limit. If you had to make a bold prediction right now, 15 years from now, right? Okay. Luka in year 18, 19, he about to retire. We finna go on the farewell tour. You know what I'm saying? He done did his shit. Where do you think realistically, unbiasedly, you think is the highest that he could possibly finish in the all-time rankings? Like, where do you see it ending on the all-time rank and like on the point guard list?
Okay. Man. Okay. Uh Man, all time. That's crazy. There's a lot of great players, honestly. Like just thinking about it, and just looking at how the league had their 75th year anniversary
Yeah.
this year. And I looked at the list. I'm not gonna lie, there's a few people on there that I've never heard of before. I had to do some research myself, and I don't like comparing like eras and stuff. I feel like every era has their own like goat in a sense, but we all know there's one goat, and that can be different to all of us. As far as, and I feel like if the list was longer, I think Luka could have made that. I think Jokic could have made that list. You know what I'm saying? If I'm being completely honest, I think those guys could have been on there. That's just my opinion. So if we're talking farewell tour, Luka, all time, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, bro. If he could sustain this level of play without any, major injuries, knocking on wood, um, I think he can make top 10 all time. To be honest, I think that his game, we haven't seen people do this type of work at 23 years old. Now the game has evolved. I will admit, people are way more skilled, and that has played a huge factor. From crossovers to long range threes to more and ones because more calls are being called. All that the nature of it, but it's not that Luka's just a great scorer. He passes well, and that's gonna get better as he gains more IQ, I guess, more experience, better teammates that he's with in their developments. Rebounding is already pretty good at, and he's 6'7", 6'8". That's huge right there. And I mean, I'm not gonna sit there and say his defense is gonna stay where it's at forever. Maybe he gets a little bit better with his like lateral quickness and or something like that, more hands, like more skills. I can see him in top 10 of all time players, right? Point guards, Trying to think. I don't want to disrespect no point guards and leave them out and stuff. But off my top of my head, I got obviously Curry, Magic Johnson. So you got Isaiah Thomas. You got oh man, I know I'm missing people. I know I'm never good at thinking about positions itself. But I would have to put him still if he's in top 10 all time, he's definitely in top 10 in point guards as well.
Mm.
So I'll go there. I'd have to do more on my breakdown of the list of point guards itself. But I think he can potentially reach top 10 all time. I know that sounds like a reach, and it is a reach right now because he got a lot more career ahead of him. And there's a lot of factors in the top 10 if you count championships or individual accolades or what breaks that down to qualify him. But I think in his time he'll get a couple of championships. I'll give him two. I'll give him two championships. I'm not gonna go crazy. People were like 6, 5. No, it's not that easy. It don't matter how good you are.
Right.
Like, it's gonna come down to team success. So I'll give him two championships, top 10 all time in both all time and point guards.
Okay. And to your point of him making the top 75 all time list, I mean, obviously Dwight was the biggest snub, but when you look back to the 50th team that was 25 years ago,
Mhm.
they put Shaq on that team,
Mm-hmm.
and Shaq had only been in the league 4 years as well.
Yep.
So they looked at it and said, Shaq was so good that it's like, if he don't have, like you said, if he don't have no major injuries, he's one of the 50 greatest players of all time. So let's stop playing and put him on there.
Yeah.
Now, if you can make the argument for a Shaq that can do it, why can't we make the same argument for Luka? If you look at the numbers between them two guys in their first 4 years, Luka's numbers is crazy. I think he averaged like 26.8, like almost 9 rebounds and 8 assists. Like that's bonkers. He already got 3 seasons with 28, 8, and 8. So it's like when you want to talk about like overall impact and what he will be able to do, like you want to project ahead. I know, and I read a lot about it. I know a lot of the players was unhappy that Shaq was on that team. They felt like it was disrespectful to players that he had played their whole career. So maybe they got so much negative backlash when they did it with Shaq. It's why they didn't want to do it again.
Yeah.
But if you could make that Shaq, or if they could have made that Shaq argument back in 96 or 97, whatever year that was, the same argument could be made for Luka because he's coming. And the thing is, even Warrior fans, that's all felt like they was gonna beat him. I haven't heard one Warrior fan that haven't said the dude is awesome. Like the dude is great. Like they respect his greatness. Everybody respects his greatness. So it's like
100%.
Like the 100 team, like that's a lot. In 25 years, like it's not even up for discussion if he gonna make that. But he definitely could have had an argument for this because some of them dudes that you was talking about, like some of them old guys, bro, Luka cooking them up. And I know it's hard to do that over the generations, but fuck that, man. Some of them old guys.
There was a few on there where I was like, because there's some you hear about whether it's 2K or the media naturally talking about like older players or people on like TNT and all that stuff. But there was some names on there. I was like, who the fuck is this?
Right. No.
Like, what? And they'll talk about 1950, 19, whatever. Like, bro, wait a minute, dude. Like, I get that. Some people left such an impact that you just know they're good, man. Like Charles Barkley's a prime example. I never seen him play a day in my life, but I watched highlights. I saw his stats. People vouch for that, and that's cool. Just like people vouch for Wilt and all the other ones. Obviously, we know the distinguished stats for those numbers and all that stuff. It's just a matter of like, man, I don't want it to obviously be all just up-to-date players, but only if they deserve that spot. I think Jokic is arguably on there too, man. I mean, he just got back-to-back MVPs, bro. Giannis was on the list, right?
Giannis.
Yeah. And Giannis is spectacular. We know that. We know he's the best player in the NBA right now. It's like obvious, man. And he won a championship last year. If he don't win that championship, I still think he should be on that list, but I guarantee you they probably wouldn't have put him on that list.
For sure. But did he deserve it? Definitely.
Yeah, 100% deserved it. Yeah, so and I definitely, like you said, when we get to the 100th year anniversary, there's going to be a ton of people that we see in today's game that will definitely be on there for sure. It's going to be crazy.
Well, my good man, I appreciate you coming on.
Yes, sir.
We're going to get the heat coming on in a few minutes. You have to go see, pray my guys don't do me down like Luka and them did. But we're going to have you back on in the off season to talk about some offseason moves the Mavs need to do. What can we do to take the next step with Luka? J Kidd obviously is great, but we need a little bit more on the court. So we're gonna get back into it. I appreciate you for coming on. Hey, y'all, if I want to find out about stocks and all of that, my man get you right, option trading, all of that type of stuff. He great with it. He taught me about it. Hey, man, just, holla at your boy if you need any assistance with any of that. But we'll be back. Peace.
Yes, sir.